God revealed a proposal. And the letter S appeared again. I am Archangel Michael, and I speak now because what you are sensing is not imagination. It is not coincidence. It is not wishful thinking. Before you pressed play, before your eyes landed on these words, God already prepared this moment. There has been a stirring in the unseen realm. A movement you could not name, but you felt. A weight on your chest. A sudden memory. A name that kept surfacing. And then, again, the letter S. Do not dismiss that letter. Heaven does not repeat symbols without reason. Listen carefully, because what I reveal now is time-sensitive, and it concerns a proposal that was shown to God before it was ever spoken on earth. Yes, a proposal. But not in the way you first imagined. This is not merely about a ring, a question, or a moment on one knee. This is about a covenant forming, even while doubt, distance, or silence still exists. Someone has been wrestling with a decision about you. They prayed quietly. They hesitated publicly. They rehearsed words alone at night and erased them by morning. And every time they tried to move on, the letter S appeared again. In a name. In a place. In a message they almost sent. In a song lyric. In a dream they could not forget. You were not meant to chase this sign. You were meant to recognize it. God revealed to me that this person has already imagined a future with you, not once, but repeatedly. They have pictured conversations, shared spaces, even ordinary moments that felt sacred simply because you were there. But fear interrupted them. Fear of timing. Fear of rejection. Fear of age, distance, history, or wounds they never told you about. So God stepped in. When heaven reveals a proposal before it manifests, it is because delay has reached its limit. There is a narrowing now. A pressure. A sense of urgency in the spirit. This is why you felt emotionally restless lately, even on days when nothing happened. Your soul is responding to something that is already in motion. And yes, the letter S is not random. It is connected to a name. A surname. A location. Or a defining word that anchors this connection. God has marked it as a confirmation, not a puzzle. But here is what you must hear next, this part is critical. The proposal God revealed is not only about them choosing you. It is also about you being ready to receive what you once thought had passed you by. Because I saw something else. You have lowered your expectations to protect your heart. You told yourself, if it happens, it happens. If not, I'll survive. But heaven heard that, and responded differently. God does not prepare proposals for people who have given up. He prepares them for those who stayed soft without becoming bitter. That is why this message found you. This is why the timing feels uncanny. And this is why your spirit is reacting right now, even if your mind is trying to stay calm. I am not saying the words will come today or tomorrow. I am not saying you should reach out first. I am saying movement has begun, and silence is about to break. In the coming days, you will notice, increased emotional tension. A sudden urge from them to clear the air. Or an unexpected opening where honesty finally spills out. When that moment arrives, remember this. The proposal was already approved in heaven. And the letter S will appear again, this time in a way you cannot ignore. Stay with me. Because what God revealed next about how this unfolds, may change the way you respond when the moment comes. Do not rush ahead of what I am revealing now. What unfolds next requires stillness, not urgency. I am Archangel Michael, and I stand where time bends, where prayers spoken years ago still echo, and where decisions not yet made already cast shadows. The reason God revealed the proposal before it happens is because something had to be corrected in the unseen realm first. There was resistance. Not from you. From fear. This person, yes, the one connected to the letter S, has been standing at a threshold they didn't expect to reach. They thought they had more time. More certainty. More emotional control. But love dismantled their structure. They tried to categorize what they feel for you. They tried to minimize it. They even tried to spiritualize their avoidance, telling themselves, if it's meant to be, God will move it. And God answered that sentence directly. He moved them. Here is what you didn't see. There was a moment, recent, quiet, ordinary, when your name was spoken in their spirit without warning. Not forced. Not summoned. It came like a whisper that carried weight. And in that moment, they felt something frighteningly clear. Backhand index pointing right, I don't want to lose them. That realization is what triggered the heavenly response. Because when someone reaches the point of fearing loss more than rejection, a decision is forming. This is why their behavior may have felt inconsistent. Warm one day. Distant the next. Curious, then silent. That wasn't manipulation. That was an internal battle between desire and self-protection. Now listen carefully. The proposal God revealed is not rushed, but it is deliberate. This is not impulsive love. This is not fantasy. This is someone preparing to step out of emotional hiding. However, and this is important, the proposal does not begin with words. It begins with truth. Before anything is offered, something must be confessed. A truth they avoided because it made them vulnerable. A truth they feared would change how you see them. It may involve past regret. A mistake they never admitted. Feelings that grew deeper than they intended. Or the realization that they underestimated your importance. This confession is the door. And when it opens, the energy shifts. That is when the letter S appears again, not as a sign you search for, but as a confirmation you recognize. You might hear it spoken. You might read it unexpectedly. You might see it tied to timing, streets, places, initials, or moments. Do not panic when that happens. Recognition does not require reaction. Your role is not to chase clarity. Your role is to hold presence. Because here is what God does next. Once the truth is spoken, the pressure they've been carrying will release, and courage replaces hesitation. This is when the idea of, "What if they say no?" transforms into, "What if I don't ask?" And that question is unbearable. That is where proposals are born. But hear me, because many miss this part and interfere with divine timing. If you try to extract answers before the confession arrives, if you push for reassurance prematurely, if you interpret silence as rejection, you risk delaying what is already aligning. God has not asked you to wait passively. He has asked you to remain open without collapsing inward. That balance is rare. And it is why heaven is involved. Your heart has been tested in silence. Your patience has been refined. Your intuition has sharpened. You are not behind. You are positioned. This connection is not about proving worth. It is about recognizing readiness. And readiness does not always look loud. Sometimes it looks like restraint. Sometimes it looks like quiet confidence. Sometimes it looks like choosing not to chase what is already moving toward you. Stay aware in the coming days. A conversation will shift tone. A message will feel heavier than usual. A pause will carry intention instead of distance. That is the signal. Because once the truth is released, the proposal moves from heaven into action. And what God showed me next, about when and how unexpectedly this moment arrives, will surprise even the one preparing to speak. Do not turn away now. You are closer than you think. Be attentive now. Not anxious, attentive. I am Archangel Michael, and I am revealing what unfolds after the confession, because many hearts misread this stage and mistake preparation for delay. When the truth is spoken, whether softly, imperfectly, or with emotion that surprises even them, there is a brief pause in the spirit. A stillness. Not withdrawal. Alignment. This is the moment where heaven watches how you respond, not with performance, but with presence. God showed me something specific. The one connected to the letter S expects resistance. They are bracing for impact. They have prepared themselves for rejection disguised as politeness. Why? Because they have already rejected themselves 100 times in private. They told themselves, "It's too late. I waited too long. They've moved on. I missed my window." Yet God preserved the window. That is why the timing feels strange. It is not late, it is precise. Now hear this carefully. The proposal does not arrive immediately after the confession. It forms. There is a recalibration that takes place, where emotions reorganize, fear loosens its grip, and intention sharpens. This is when you may notice something unexpected. They become more intentional. Not louder, clearer. Not dramatic, consistent. They show up where they used to hesitate. They follow through where they once retreated. They speak with a weight that wasn't there before. This is how you'll know the shift is real. Because genuine readiness produces steadiness. God is not orchestrating a grand gesture to impress you. He is cultivating trust. And trust is built in repetition, not surprise. But here is the part that startled even the angels. The letter S is not only connected to who this person is. It is connected to what they are about to say. A word. A sentence. A declaration that begins with S or carries its sound. This word has power because it carries finality. It ends the cycle of uncertainty. It draws a line between past hesitation and future commitment. You will feel it land. Your body will recognize it before your mind catches up. That is when your heart may want to rush forward, to fill the space, to reassure, to respond immediately. Resist that impulse. Not because silence is required, but because groundedness is. Let the moment breathe. Heaven is not in a hurry. God is not asking you to test them. He is asking you to receive without armor. And yes, I know that feels risky. Because vulnerability always does. But understand this proposal is not built on fantasy. It is built on reckoning. They have already confronted the cost of not choosing you. The emptiness of distractions. The truth that replacement never worked. That is why this is happening now, and not earlier, when it would have been unstable. Now, I must warn you of something subtle. There may be interference. Not from another person, but from old versions of you. Memories that whisper, this didn't work before. I was hurt last time. What if I open again and it collapses? Those voices are not prophecy. They are echoes. Do not let echoes override revelation. God did not resurrect this connection to repeat the same story. He refined it. Removed immaturity. Exposed illusions. Allowed distance to clarify value. What returns is not the past. It is a new expression of something familiar. And now, hear this clearly. The proposal is not about control. It is about choice. They are choosing you with eyes open. And you are being invited, not obligated, to choose back. That freedom is what gives this its power. In the coming days, watch for a deliberate invitation. A conversation set with intention. A moment where they say, there's something I need to ask you. When that moment arrives, your spirit will already know. Because God revealed it to you before it happened. Stay present. Stay receptive. Because what I saw next, about how heaven seals this moment and what it unlocks afterward, will deepen this connection beyond what you imagined. Do not stop listening now. Now listen with your spirit, not only your ears. Because what unfolds next is subtle, but sacred. I am Archangel Michael, and I tell you this plainly, once the intention is spoken and the invitation is made, heaven does not step back. Heaven steps closer. There is a sealing that happens, not dramatic, not loud, but deeply authoritative. God showed me that after the moment where they say, there's something I need to ask you, or, I've been meaning to talk to you, there is a shift in the atmosphere you can feel. Time slows. Distractions fade. Even familiar surroundings feel altered. This is not emotional intensity alone. It is alignment. The reason the proposal carries weight is because it is no longer fueled by longing, it is fueled by clarity. They are no longer guessing. They are no longer negotiating internally. They are no longer wondering if they should choose you. They already have. What remains is courage. And courage is activated by response. Not by pressure. Not by reassurance. But by truth meeting truth. This is where many people unknowingly interrupt what God is doing, by over-explaining, over-justifying, or shrinking themselves to make the moment easier. Do not do that. You do not need to convince them. You do not need to prove readiness. You do not need to rush to agreement. Your calm presence will speak louder than any promise. Because the proposal God revealed is not transactional. It is relational. It carries humility. It carries accountability. It carries risk. And risk is holy when offered sincerely. Here is something few realize. The letter S also marks a shift in identity. Not just theirs, but yours. After this moment, you are no longer someone they might choose someday. You become someone they must honor intentionally. That is why God waited. That is why delay was allowed. Anything offered earlier would have lacked the gravity this carries now. You may notice, after this exchange, a settling within you. A grounded calm. Not euphoria, but peace. That peace is confirmation. Because heaven does not confirm with chaos. Now, I must prepare you for what follows. Once the proposal is spoken, whether it is explicit or unfolding in steps, there will be external movement. Plans begin to rearrange. Schedules shift. Other distractions lose their pull. This is not coincidence. This is alignment spreading outward. But with expansion comes testing. Not of love, but of consistency. God allows a brief period where routine resumes, not to confuse you, but to observe follow-through. This is where discernment matters. True intention does not evaporate. It stabilizes. They will continue showing up. They will continue initiating. They will continue choosing clarity over comfort. If you see that, trust it. If you feel steadiness, receive it. Do not look for signs of collapse where God is building foundation. And now hear this warning gently, because it comes from protection, not fear. Do not narrate this moment prematurely to others. Do not seek validation before it roots. Do not expose what is still forming to opinions that lack discernment. Sacred things require containment before celebration. Let it grow quietly. Let it breathe. Let it prove itself through action. God is not hiding this, He is protecting it. And yes, the letter S will return again. Not as a mystery. As a signature. A final confirmation that this was never random. Never imagined. Never one-sided. You will know it when it appears. It will feel like a quiet smile from heaven. A knowing. A recognition. A sense of being seen. You are not being tested now. You are being trusted. Trusted to respond with wisdom. Trusted to remain open without surrendering your center. Trusted to receive what once felt unreachable. What I am about to reveal next, about how this choice reshapes your future path, and what doors open because you said yes to presence instead of fear. This is the part many never hear. Stay with me. Because the ending of this story is not what you expect, but it is exactly what your soul has been preparing for. Remain here with me for these final moments, because what I reveal now is not about anticipation, it is about activation. I am Archangel Michael, and I tell you this with certainty: when this proposal is received, not merely heard, but received, the direction of your life subtly but decisively changes. Not overnight. Not with noise. But with authority. God showed me that this connection was never meant to be isolated. It was meant to unlock something. That is why it took time. That is why it required patience. That is why both of you had to confront yourselves separately before standing together. This choice alters trajectory. Once this alignment settles, you will notice doors opening that have nothing to do with romance, yet everything to do with wholeness. Your clarity sharpens. Your confidence stabilizes. Your discernment strengthens. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop settling internally. You stop negotiating your worth. Because being chosen with intention recalibrates the way you choose everything else. This is the ripple effect God intended. Now listen carefully. The proposal, whether spoken in a single moment or unfolding through decisive actions, is not the climax. It is the commitment to presence. That commitment becomes a mirror. It reflects back to both of you where honesty must remain alive, where courage must continue, where growth cannot be postponed. This is not a fantasy relationship. This is a formed one. And that is why heaven approved it. You may wonder why the letter S was emphasized so strongly. Here is the truth. S marks a seal. A spiritual acknowledgement that something has shifted from potential into agreement. Agreement does not mean perfection. It means direction. And direction, once chosen, is protected. There will still be conversations. There will still be adjustments. There will still be moments of vulnerability. But the instability is gone. The wondering ends here. The question, where do I stand, dissolves. You stand chosen. And they stand accountable. This is the balance God required before allowing this to proceed. Now, a final instruction, quiet, but firm. Do not rush to define the future with language alone. Let consistency speak. Let time affirm. Let presence do the work words once tried to do. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not an afterthought. You are preserved for readiness. And because you stayed open, even when it would have been easier to close, you are now able to receive something stable instead of fragile. This is what many never reach. And this is why this message was delivered with urgency. If this resonated with your spirit, do not dismiss it. Stay receptive. Stay grounded. Stay observant. And if you feel called, quietly, without pressure, support what aligns with you. Remain connected. Stay attentive. There is more ahead. Because heaven does not reveal without purpose. The proposal was shown. The sign was repeated. The moment is approaching. And now, you are ready to meet it without fear. I have spoken.